Welcome back to the Daily Wire. Breaking, Stacey Abrams announces she's running for Georgia governor in 2022. Yeah, okay, whatever. You know, just... Now, I'm doing the laughter on there because I think it's funny, but the fact of the matter is, she's extremely well organized, and so are the progressive Democrats in Georgia. And excuse after excuse, how they got on Trump for saying the election was, well, fill in the blank, can't say it here on YouTube, but it's okay, as Stacey Abrams says, it was taken from her, the governor's race last time. Now, what the one thing that I know is on, we'll say, the Republicans, conservative, or normal people side, it's in 2022 when there'll be heavy anti-progressive Democrat sentiment. Let's read on, because I got to give them credit. These people don't give up, man. It's like a 5-year-old standing in front of the candy at the grocery store. It's a matter of will. When they're kicking and screaming and whining and crying, outlast your patience, and you'll give in. There's not much difference. Democratic politician Stacey Abrams has officially announced her candidacy in 2022 Georgia gubernatorial race. Her campaign video states she decided for the run because in our state shouldn't be determined by zip code, background, or access to power. That means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Regardless of the pandemic or the storms, the obstacles in our way, or the forces determined to divide us, my job is to just put my head down and keep working towards one Georgia, she said in her video, because in the end, we are one Georgia. No, not at all. You have been divisive. You have divided people by race, by social status, by financial status, right down the end. You have busted up people all over the place into little boxes, and you do it on purpose. She is the ultimate. She's not as bad as Al Sharpton, don't get me wrong, but she's definitely in that group of grifters, to be sure. Abrams has spent the better part of 4 years insisting that she actually won Georgia's governor's race in 2018 after she lost to incumbent Governor Brian Kemp. In 2019, a Daily Wire reported that Abrams told MSNBC, I think the election was stolen from the people of Georgia. Abrams said on Sunday while appearing on MSNBC's American Swamp. Now, this is the deal. This is the part that you can get in trouble on YouTube. They want, see, every single vote, every vote should count. No, every legal, legitimate vote should count. It's, we'll read on here. I'll tell you what I mean. I don't know that empirically, but I would have won, she concluded. Well, I don't know that for sure. I'm just running my mouth and say that I would have. But if you add together the thousands of people who face extraordinary long lines, who faced hurdles that should not happen in democracy, the votes that we know were not counted, the Secretary of State, who was also my opponent in the race, purged more than 1.4 million votes over basically an 8-year period. It's called purging the voter rolls, because that's what you want. You want 1+ million people in the voter rolls that haven't voted in over a decade. What are they going to do with those names? You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure it out. In October of this year, the Daily Wire reported that Abrams said she came from a state that was not entitled to be governor, again hinting that the election was stolen from her. Just because you win doesn't mean you won, Abrams said while campaigning for McAuliffe. We've got folks who are ready to take back what they think is theirs, but they're not entitled to our process. They're not entitled to our justice. They're not entitled to your vote. They're not entitled to our progress. Amazing. I came from a state where I was not entitled to become the governor, but as an American citizen, a citizen of Georgia, I'm going to fight for every person who has the right to vote to be able to cast that vote. Has the right, legal right, period. Not someone that hasn't voted in 10 years and the signature doesn't match. Not someone that's not been able to prove who they are when they go to vote. On Twitter, in response to the announcement, Newsbusters' Chris Hoke remarked on the uncanny ability that Democrats had to lie about political events and brush it off as nothing has happened. Yeah. Lie, 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 lie. Well, you said this 2 years ago. Change the subject. Love how Stacey Abrams was allowed to just lie and lie about the election being stolen from her by the liberal media simply because of the fact that she was only running for governor of Georgia and not president of the United States. These people, he tweeted. Abrams is heavily favored to win a Democratic gubernatorial primary in Georgia. On the Republican side of the ballot, Jonathan Garcia, Governor Brian Kemp, Candace Taylor, and Vernon Jones have announced their candidacy for the GOP nomination. She'll have an easier time in the primaries than the Republican. That will probably be a catfight. And I hope that when it's over, whoever wins gets the support of the others. I can't even tell you how important it is right now for progressive Democrats to hold zero power at the state level in this country. I can't even begin to tell you how big of a deal it is. Because if you remember the gigantic cluster blank that happened in Georgia during the special elections in January for the 2 U.S. Senate seats, where they lost them both by a hair's breadth. They had no business running them. Candidates weren't that hot. And Trump was PO'd, of course, because what happened to him. It's just amazing to me. And they still squeaked it out. So that put it at 50-50 in the U.S. Senate, and it put us in this spot. Oh, gosh. You know, is it Christian to pray for somebody not to win? Really? People, these progressives, they hate this country. They hate its systems. They hate its institutions. I've never been to Georgia. I know it was getting more and more blue, purple, as they say, as time goes on. It was a solid red Republican state. A lot of transplants going to the Atlanta area in Georgia from the Northeast. And I just hope there's enough, because this is a huge deal. And I'm hoping that the anti-progressive Democrat wave that comes in 2022 helps in this race as well. We'll have to see. But the battle lines are drawn. It's up to the people to decide fairly and ethically to vote. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.